Okay, guys, I enjoyed doing that iron bow tie, and I was ready to go out and pick up some other intake manifolds to do head-to-head comparisons to. And then I went through my junk pile and I realized I have a bone stock Holley sitting here. This is a Holley 701r-48. It's for an 87 and up. Looks like the last owner hollowed it out to put an 86 and older head on under it. It is a very similar design to the Edelbrock Performer. It's got big runners on the top H, tight runners on the lower H. Upper runners actually have a very nice design if you can see them. They've got nice curves to them. You can see in the plenum. They're done quite well. These do not really have much of a radius on them. You can see they were basically machined out. Okay. This plenum is actually a decent sized plenum. I measured it to the iron bow tie. It's almost, those plenums are almost as deep. And this is not nearly as tall an intake. Well, it's not bad. I would say it's a mid-rise. The other one's definitely a high-rise. This is actually the exact manifold I have on the old work truck. Of course, the old work truck was ported, and I ported it in the 90s. It'd be interesting to see how I did on that as far as equalizing those flows. Okay, lower H. It's got nice shapes to it. Okay. You can see it's an EGR. I remember last time I did some testing on this, I didn't close these up. These are attached right to the plenum. Those holes in the bottom of the plenum are attached right to that. So if I didn't close those up, and I don't remember closing these up, my flows on this intake are not going to be correct. So, let's see if you guys can see in there. Alright, that's basically a square port, and it's pretty small. Okay, the uppers have nice big ports, you know, usual size, probably almost the size of an RPM. Okay, so how did this do as far as flowing bone stock? Well, number 1 is 188.8, number 3 is 248, number 5 is 237.2, number 7 is 201.4, number 2 is 244.3, 4 is 195.2, 6 is 203.4, 8 is 252.6. Now you do a little quick math, and we have 63.8 CFM difference between our highest flowing port, which is 252.6, and our lowest flowing port, which is 188.8. Now, what's the logic in doing something like this? We've gone over this before, but it's good to repeat. Okay, the smaller runners give us our torque peak at lower RPM. The upper runners will give us a torque peak at the higher RPM. So when you put them all on the same engine, it's basically you have a 4-cylinder engine with a small intake manifold and a 4-cylinder engine with a big intake manifold, all on the same crankshaft. So you have two overlapping torque curves, and what that winds up doing is it flattens out the torque curve to make it a very drivable combination. Okay, she'll pull good off the line, and she'll keep going. This manifold, as it sits, is probably rated at 5,500. In reality, you could get more than that out of a bone stock. But you can see you're limited on CFM on 4 of those runners. Now, do I think I can get them all evened up? I don't think so. I don't think there's enough metal in there for me to actually do that. But I can get it closer. I mean, I'd like to see, I'd like to cut that number at least in half. We'll see how I do. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to do, I'm just going to do a cleanup, I think, on the big ports. And I'll do some serious work on the smaller ports and see what we got. Alright, guys, just a short one. I wanted to show this before I hacked it up. It is coated. I don't know what it's coated with exactly. I don't know if that's ceramic. I don't know what it is. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good night.